I'm not too sure if anyone will relate to what I'm about to say, but I have noticed social interactions with people in real life have become so strange and so ridiculous to the point where you have known people for decades, and when you interact with them how you used to interact with them, all of a sudden they switch up. All of a sudden they get offended by something that, like a word or something that you said to them. They block you, they cut you off. This is exactly what has happened to me. I had a friend who I've known for over 10 years. And we joke around with each other all the time. We all have a friend where we're able to make fun of each other and crack little jokes here and there. But all of a sudden, this particular guy that I knew, I said something to him and he just snapped out of the blue through text messaging, not in real life, not face to face. But he blocked me. He cut me off. He just snapped all of a sudden, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And this is the thing. This is just a very small example. The people that I've known from before COVID and post COVID-19, those people that I interact with, who I've interacted with, they have changed. A lot of them have become more paranoid. Some of them have actually become schizophrenic. You know, people that I thought were considered normal and there was nothing wrong with them, and then all of a sudden they've changed. And maybe it's just, we've become so used to isolation. Is that what it is? I don't know. Have we become, so glued to our computers, to our screens? Is it something in the air that is changing the way that we think? Is it something in our food that is changing the hormones in our body, that's making us think a certain way? A lot of people have a lot more anxiety than usual. Like, the news nowadays is really negative. It's always talking about negative things that are happening around the world. People are dying, people are getting shot. Even in the local news, it's the same thing. And it creates a sense of worry and anxiety about the future. You're worried about traveling, you're worried about starting a new life in a new country. You're worried about starting a new job. You're worried about this and worried about that, that as soon as you step out the door, something's going to happen to you. All of these things, the whole social dynamic of human interaction has changed, and I think it's gotten worse, and it's getting worse day by day. I don't know if you're able to relate to this. Maybe it's just me, just in my own imagination. I don't know, but this is just coming from my own experience, that people that I have talked to, even face to face, they have completely changed. They have changed. They've become different. They've become more angry, more grumpy, more standoffish, more sensitive to words, more sensitive to so many other things, and stressed out. And even I have also experienced this too. Like, I go to a gym, and in my gym people tend to stare a lot. They like to stare at you, and especially if you look muscular and stuff. And I don't know if it's out of envy or if it's out of jealousy. You never know. But I get these stare downs from people in the gym all the time, and it's like they're either in competition with me or something like that. Sometimes I nod my head, sometimes I just stare back at them until they look away. But you feel a sense of unease, and these people, you don't know what people are thinking, man. You don't know what's in people's heads, what they're really thinking about. But at the gym, I've seen people lash out randomly over just small things. Oh, why are you running in the walking lane of the track? Why are you walking in the running lane of the track? And so I've seen people snap at each other. I've seen people snap over the smallest things, and it's becoming more frequent. It's more common. People with mental illnesses, people are just going insane. I don't know if it's because of COVID. I don't know what it is, because of technology or all the other things that I mentioned earlier, like food and stuff. But it has become problematic, and we need to accept that it has become problematic. That this is a serious situation, a serious problem in the social dilemma of life. Our human interactions has changed, and it's gotten worse. It hasn't improved. Convenience. I think convenience has greatly destroyed our ability to interact with and communicate with people. It's so easy for us to message people online through text messages and stuff and tell them how we feel, how our thoughts, instead of actually talking to the person face to face to tell them how you truly feel about that person or what your thoughts are. You know, all of these things, all of these factors contribute to, your mental health and how you perceive the world. What you see, what you listen to, right? Who you talk to, who you affiliate yourself with, shapes your world, how you see the world, right? What information you're taking in shapes how you see the world, and how everybody sees the world is subjective, right? Everybody sees the world in a different perspective, and everybody that you have interacted with has a certain identity of what they think you are. You may know 15 people, and each and every single one of them will has a different image of you. Oh, you're the funny guy, you're the strong guy, you're the sensitive person, you're the empathetic person, you're the cold-hearted person, you're the serious person. Everybody has a different identity and view of who you are. But going back to the topic of socializing, it's almost as if now I've noticed that it's when people talk to each other, it's people want to talk, they want to one up you. They always want to say something better than what you have just said. They always want to add something better than what you have just said. It's never just a genuine conversation, or just about, what's going on and not having to compete with the other person. I've noticed that people that I know, I can sense the competition. I can sense the envy, the jealousy, when you tell them an achievement or something about in your life. That's why it's important to just keep your shit private. Just don't tell every crack and Joe that you meet about the things that you're doing in your life. Never mention how much money you make. Never mention your personal life. Never even mention your problems to people. Maybe to one of your close friends or two of your closest friends, but even then there's a risk behind it. They may see it as a win for them. You don't know that for sure. And that friend that I mentioned earlier, who I've known for so long, in the past, I never knew him as a type of guy that would take shit so offensively. Like, I never knew him as a sensitive dude, We talk shit to each other all the time, and none of us, we would roast each other, and then the next day we would get over it. But all of a sudden, this person I know just snapped. And I don't know if just that particular day he was pressed about something else. He was pissed off about some other situation, and I just happened to add fuel to the fire. But it's been about 10 days since he's blocked me. He hasn't talked to me, And I honestly considered him to be a good friend, but let bygones be bygones. You can't force relationships upon people. You can't force that. I've learned you can't control outcomes. You can only control what you can control, right? Which is how you react, what you do about it. Your health, what you take in, what you listen to, what you see, who you talk to. These are the things that you can control. Your finances. This is something that you can control as well. But these are all going a little bit off topic. But yeah, guys, I really hope that at least if one of you is watching this can kind of relate to what I'm saying. Do you believe this is true? Do you think that the whole social dynamic has changed, or do you think it stays the same after post-COVID? Do you think it's improved? Do you think it's gotten worse? Please let me know in the comments, in this video, what you think, or if you can relate to this, because I do truly appreciate you watching this video, and if you're a subscriber, I'm grateful for that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. Thank you. Have a nice day.